Well, I'm down in the yard that is right next to the hotel building that I'm working on, and I found kind of a nice shady spot. This is the first day of the week, and it's nice to be out of the shop for a little bit. I've got some trimming that I want to do on some of these trees because every time I come down here and mow, I am just fighting this low brush. So I'm going to trim it out. I do have some mechanical help here with me. I've got some other trees that have died, and remember here maybe a couple years ago I tried to pull some clothesline poles out with my forklift and they ended up getting stuck. So I've got my Bobcat skid steer down here. I'm going to try to get that out, and I need it to help load up all these big cement blocks as well too. So basically I'm just going to play a little bit here in the yard work. I'll show you the hotel building. The old windows are out, the new windows are in. I do have some final fitting, shimming, and attaching and caulking to do, but all the new windows are in the holes. So there's not a whole lot to explain, just that I'm taking you along, kind of keeping you up on some of the things I'm doing on the hotel, and I'm going to focus outside today. Well, a number of these are ash trees. They kind of have that distinctive seed pod to them. We've also got some chokecherries in here, and I don't know if chokecherry is distinctly Montana, but we have a lot of them. Bears really like them, and they make really good pancake syrup. And kind of mixed in with the cedar tree, there's a chokecherry bush here as well. You can see they get pretty heavy with the berries, so they kind of sag down. But all this tree here is chokecherries. And I've got a little bush here. It's got a real big broad leaf on it. And I didn't know what it was until my brother was down here about a week or two ago. He took a picture of it and gave it to his daughter, who can look up this stuff on her phone, which most all of you know how to do that. But it came back that this is American basswood. And I have another big tree that I have a broken limb out of, and it shoots sprouts off the bottom tremendous, and I'll show you that as well. Well, this is the tree that my brother took a picture of. It showed up to be American basswood. We had a real strong windstorm and it broke this branch out of it. Well, it seems like these suckers that grow up around the trunk have a bigger leaf on them than what the rest of them has. But it gets really bushy. I've cut these out a number of times and they just keep coming back. Well, I've had this old brush pile accumulating here for 6 months or so. I finally get to get rid of it. I've got an ongoing battle with this box elder that I cut down a couple years ago. Keep spraying it, but it refuses to die. Well, it looks to me like this whole pipe is filled with concrete. I was going to cut it off and salvage the steel with my other scrap iron, but I don't think they would appreciate all the concrete in it either. So I'm going to just load them on the trailer and dump them in the draw where all that brush goes. It'll have to work. Well, that's about as much damage as I'm going to do for today. That last little chunk of concrete I was setting in here, my SD card filled up, so you didn't get to see the final end. Anyway, I've got a dry wash that's eroding out on our playground that I'm putting this stuff in and trying to stop that erosion, and it seems to be helping. I wanted this old fence out because I'm going to replace the fence and eventually I'll replant this grass. It was a really nice yard at one time, but it had way too many dogs that were unattended and it kind of ruined it. So a step at a time. But anyway, it was fun to be outside. Appreciate you coming along. Thanks for watching.